Coming up next on Nick at Night, Weeknight Update with Ellie Muller. Then, The Wee Hours with Craig Knightley. Followed by Movie Night with Will DeVakis. That's next on Nick at Night.
Tonight on Weeknight Update, find out how Matt LeBlanc managed to go from having $11 in his bank account to being the biggest superstar in the world, or one of the biggest superstars in the world. And also find out why people have been spreading rumors about him and Matthew Perry being friends. Well, we already know that they're friends, but people are still making rumors about them anyway. And also find out why I have this hairdo. That's right, I said it. That's all coming up right now on Weeknight Update. Straight from the YouTube dojo where Matt LeBlanc can't be seen. Wait a minute, what? It's Weeknight Update with Ellie Muller. And now a man who thinks that Matt LeBlanc is a little too rich for his own good, Ellie Muller. Ha! Welcome, Weeknight Update. I am Ellie Muller. It's my grass office. Alright, tonight's Shoutout Spotlight wins. Our Spec Spider Canada's band edits. Alex Gay with his animations. The Golden Five with his band edits. Anthony Pente showed his reactions and things like that. Web Design 18 with this podcast, his bands, his discussions and things like that. Lex Brooks with his gameplays. Luendon Gaming with his gaming videos, or whatever, and Rob Corey with his program entitled The Rob Corley Show. Alright, so please check all those people out. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, Mr. Mueller, what's with the haircut? You know, it looks a little bit different. Well, it does, and I'll tell you why. Because earlier today, true story, I got a haircut. You know, it was a little too long. You know, if I had let it grow a little bit longer, then it would have turned out to be longer than Fabio's. And let's be honest, Fabio would have been steamed. So, I had to cut. Kind of looks professional if you think about it. Anyway, let's get on with tonight's topic, which is Matt LeBlanc. A guy who is only famous because of a TV show called Friends. Well, he's rich now, so I guess we can say that he's okay now, but listen to this, okay? He is still good friends with Matthew Perry, and people thought that they were huge rivals when they were working together. Really? Really? That's like getting mud to kiss a tree. Now, here's a fun fact. Matt LeBlanc was not always rich. In fact, when he was starting out, he had $11 in his bank account. $11. He was so broke that he had to do his own dental work. Now guess what? Now he's so rich that he can practically own like 85 dentists. I just, woo! You know what it's time for? That's right, you guessed it. It's time for the top 8 list. Adam, let's roll. MP, Pink Cat, let's do this thing.
Welcome, my dear chicken nuggets. Top 8 rejected Matt LeBlanc movies. Number 8, Pit It Out, apparently. Number 7, Branched.
Number 6, Skunky Table.
Number 5, Let's Flip. Stop. Number 4, Rolling Around.
Number 3, Fly with the Eagles.
Let's fly like an eagle, let your spirit run free. Number 2, The Monster Computer. Number 1, Love Your Armpits. You see those? You have to love them. Great.
This is silly. We'll be right back. The kids still call it Weeknight Update. Now here it is, your vibe of the night.
last I see the light.
And it's like the sky is new.
Dude! Sorry!
Mr. President, General Grant's coming on Saturday, and we need new carpeting.
You can't get new carpeting in 3 days, Mary.
Empire, Mr. President. Call Empire.
Only one company promises you brand name carpeting in 72 hours. Empire. Try us.
Here comes the General, right on time.
Glad Empire was on time, too, Mary.
For brand name carpeting installed in 72 hours, even the Lincolns would have to call Empire.
588-2300 Empire. And at last I see the light.
And it's like the sky is new.
Dude! Sorry!
Scott the boys, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How about yourself? Not too bad, not too bad. Hey, nice haircut. Thank you, thank you. You know, it's time for a moment for everyone. You know, people always ask me, you know, Mr. Muller, call me Ellie Cunningham Muller. Okay, fine, Mr. Ellie Cunningham Muller, why do you love getting haircuts? Good question. Well, sometimes, you know, your hair can get a little too long, and to be quite honest, you know, I don't like hair that will reach all the way down to my eyes. You know, thankfully, that has never happened. You know, because, you know, let's be honest, I always try to have my hair done at least, you know, several times a year. Of course, the last time that I had a haircut like this was, I don't know, several months ago or something like that. So, it was well past time for a haircut. Just like it is now time for some talking time. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, people always ask me, hey, when did talking time begin? 1808 BBC before your common era. Who were responsible for creating talking time? The chickens and the lickens. You see how they came about? You know, true story. At 8:08 and 8:04 in the AM, PM, morning, afternoon, evening, night, all times of the day. Every day, you know, airplanes would fly over the chickens and the lickens, pressuring them to sing a certain song. And every time it happens, they get a little nutty.
And that song was breathe in and out. Doctor, it is ready, Rick French. Breathe. Doctor, out. Yeah, welcome back, Doctor. Kongi, Kame, and welcome back to Doggy Time.
Alright, now,
Who we talking about?
Matt LeBlanc,
Who is LeBlanc?
the guy from Friends, he played Joey. Now, listen to this, okay?
Diaz?
No. Listen to this, okay? Check this out, okay? A lot of people wondered, you know, if he and his former co-star Matthew Perry had the same friendship in real life as they did on Friends.
Why do you say that?
Well, let's be honest, right? The show isn't titled Friends, after all. And here's another thing, right? Matthew Perry had some personal struggles during the 3rd season of the show, but he remained on the show for all those 10 seasons.
Okay.
You know, and here's what's interesting, alright? You know what? Nobody knows how often they see each other now, but they seem to get along really well. You know, and this is them when they filmed on their first scenes together.
Okay.
Alright? Okay? They speak fondly of each other. You know, as a matter of fact, Matt LeBlanc said this about his former co-star, you know, almost 5 years ago. He said, I saw him yesterday. I love that guy. I could not see him for 5 years. And then get in the room together and still have that shorthand with each other. It's amazing, really. 10 years in the building with no windows and the doors locked. We got to know each other pretty well.
I mean, yeah. It's called talking. Both of y'all are actors. Ain't no reason to not like each other.
Well, that's true, and
Well, except if one person caps. But y'all didn't cap. So yeah, of course they're friends.
yeah, even though they have been busy on and off, you know, they're still cool, and they've had successes, you know, on and off friends as well.
Alright, where?
Let's be honest, right? Let's think about this. Matt LeBlanc did a show called Joey after Friends Are Off the Air.
Okay.
Only lasted less than a year. They both did The Odd Couple and Married to Plan, you know, respectively. Alright? Of course, both of those shows got canceled fairly recently. But who knows at this point if those shows will be picked up by syndicated stations. Nonetheless, they're still friends. Let's move on.
Okay, damn. I guess they're friends.
Yeah, but here's what's interesting, alright? You know how much money Matt LeBlanc had when he moved from Boston, Massachusetts to New York, New York at the age of 17?
A good amount?
11 bucks.
That's crazy. That is a good amount.
Really?
You know what you can get for 11 bucks?
What?
A kid's meal at McDonald's. You could get a Big Mac. You could get food. You're good. You're set.
For the most part. However, he did have a few roles before Friends called. Alright? He did Top of the Heap, Married with Children, and Vinny and Bobby. Married with Children lasted about 8 or 9 years. Top of the Heap and Vinny and Bobby, a couple months. But he also did some commercial work and appeared in a couple of music videos.
Okay.
Now, here's what's odd, okay? Before he auditioned for Friends, when he auditioned for Friends, you know, this is a true story. You know what? You know, they weren't really, you know, the creators of the show, David Crane and Marta Kaufman, weren't exactly sure if they wanted Matt LeBlanc on board, you know, at first.
Okay.
You know, they even considered Hank Azaria.
Azaria?
Yeah. And they also considered Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
But the network executives knew that Matt LeBlanc would bring the perfect amount of humor and charm to the part. When he scored the role, he only had 11 bucks in his bank account, and he had resorted to doing his own dental work to save money.
Dental work?
That's right. He was his own dentist.
AKA he brushes teeth.
Yeah. Long story short, you know, 10 years later, he was making $1 million an episode.
So look, guys, this is the freaking moral. You can come from dirt, but if you get lucky and you make the right risk, then you'll be fine. That's how it is. And secondly, life is unexpected, So take those unexpected risks.
Okay, well, what we learned tonight? Well, we learned that Matt LeBlanc and Matthew Perry are still friends. And we also learned that if you can come from $11 to to having a whole lot of money, then let's be honest, you know what, your life hasn't been all that rocky after all. I don't know if that last one makes any sense, but that's what we can take away from it. We gotta move, but we'll see you back here tomorrow night for another installment of Weeknight Update. Thank you so much for being here. That's the news. I'm out, skis. Farewell, bye, farewell.